3, 2, 1. Oh, wait, we're already going. All right. Hey, hi, and welcome to the current installment of Real Estate Investing for Broke Folk, the video series dedicated to helping you acquire your first or your first 10 rental properties, even if you have no cash, no credit, and don't even have a job. All right. Today is Friday, June 14th, and I am on my way back from a closing. Today, I closed on my first investment property, or at least my first one in years and years and years. I did some stuff in the past, whole separate story. So, yes, I had my first closing today, and I want to share about the deal because it's an example of something that we won't be talking about a lot in this series. Most of the time in this series, we're going to be talking about making deals in which we use hard money, what's called hard money, and or gap financing. So hard money and possibly gap financing. And this is from hard money lenders or private lenders or investors. Today we're going to talk about a whole separate area of deal making that still does not involve banks in any way, and that is seller financing. Okay? And it's exactly what it sounds like. It's a deal in which the seller of the property finances the transaction, saving you and them all of the complications that come with going to a bank. Okay? So, the story of the deal is I placed an ad on Facebook, and my first response to the ad from a seller was for a 4-bedroom house in kind of a semi-rural area, and I went out to take a look at the place. No, actually, I think we've first of all, you know what? I don't remember what happened first. We talked some on the phone. We texted. I went out to take a look at the place, and we had a good conversation. And after I returned from my visit there, I received a text in which the seller offered to finance the deal. And I mentioned this 4-bedroom house. The price that they were asking was $33,000. Okay? And that struck me as being a good price. I'll just run through this and then kind of circle back to make some points that I want to make about the transaction. So they offered me seller financing on the $33,000 price. They offered to accept $10,000 down and payments of $444 a month for 51 months. The first thing that struck me about this was that the number $444 a month seemed odd. I had no idea what was behind it. It turned out that related to their spiritual beliefs. You can look up 444 if you want to, and I'll just tell you that when you do use the bad stuff and good stuff, this was related to the good stuff about 444. Okay. But the second thing was, when I did the math, 444 did not add up. 444 times 51. If we have 10,000 down, that leaves 10,000 down from 33 leaves 23. 444 times 51 does not add up to 23. So it was just off. Anyway, Uh, I did some consulting with my network and my mentor, and received the feedback that $10,000 down on a $33,000 deal is pretty high. Let's see if you can get it lower. So I followed up with him in conversation and asked, if that $10,000 down could be, I don't know, split into chunks. Like, do you need all of that at the beginning, or could we split it? And I was thinking, honestly, like $5,000 at closing, and then maybe the second $5,000 a month later, a couple of months later, whatever. And what we wound up agreeing on was just $5,000 down at closing, and the rest just being rolled into the payments over time. In other words, the $10,000 down payment became a $5,000 down payment. Okay, so that's the first tweak. The second tweak to the deal was payments of $500 a month for, let me do the math again, 56 months. Okay, so $33,000 price, $5,000 down, leaving $28,000, and then payments of $500 a month for 56 months. Okay, and we were looking to close in June, and I asked to have the payments begin on October 1st, so that I could have July, August, and September to prepare the place for renting, to get it rented, and to get a little bit of income before I had to start making my payments. They agreed to all of that. So we were good to go. Wonderful. We remained in communication as we were just moving forward, them continuing to get ready, and us setting up, contact the settlement company and starting to arrange for the settlement. We remained in communication, and they experienced a change on their end, right, that made them ask if I could give any additional money on the down payment. So I said, yeah, sure. And then we worked out a new agreement. The new agreement said sale price $33,000, down payment $6,000 rather than $5,000, and payments of $500 a month to commence on October 1st, not for 56 months, but for 54 months. Okay? So I agreed to give them a larger down payment. But I also asked them for something. Okay? And this was the tweak that I asked for. I asked for them on the payment, for them to hold an unsecured note. And if you don't know what that means, let me go ahead and tell you. Typically, when someone is buying a piece of real estate, whether they go to a bank or a hard money lender or use seller financing, they usually have to borrow the majority of the money. Most people don't pay cash for a house, right? And so the note, the seller or the lender will hold a note, which is the document, the legal document saying, I, Elwin Green, promised to pay so-and-so X amount of money, and the payment schedule. Typically, that note is accompanied by a mortgage. A mortgage is the legal document. Oops, pause. Had to take a call. All right, so the mortgage is the legal document that goes along with the note, and the mortgage gives the lender an interest in the property so that if the borrower defaults on the loan, the lender can take the property. So the property acts as security for the loan. Okay? So the note is a note secured by the mortgage. Okay. I asked the seller if they would be willing to hold an unsecured note. And I emailed to the seller. I was very careful to point out in bold that this arrangement would have an advantage for me because it would allow me to tap into the value of the house if, for instance, I needed to do something like put on a roof. Okay? But at the same time, I did not see that it would offer an advantage for them. I put that in bold, okay? So that neither they nor anyone else could even imagine that somehow I had cheated them or stiffed them or deprived them of their rights. No, I told them, it'll be advantageous to you, to me, probably not to you, but it would help me a lot. They agreed. So I agreed to pay an extra $6,000 instead of $5,000, and they agreed to hold an unsecured note. And with those terms in place, the deal moved forward, and today we closed. And I think I probably need to do a part 2. I do need to do a part 2 on this because it's already 12 minutes. So in part 2, I'm going to just share some lessons, if you will, from this transaction. Things that I learned or that were reinforced for me that I think are worth sharing with you folks. But for now, I'm just going to say, yay me, I made a deal, I have a house, and I'm excited to see how this opens up the possibilities for me to move forward on my next deals. With that, I'm gonna shut up, and for now, until the next time, y'all folks take care. Bye.